Welcome back to another edition of Centennial Student News. I'm Ella Hutchinson.
And I'm Grayson Castillo. Let's get started.
As more and more schools across the nation are beginning to reopen, Las Cruces Public Schools is examining the process of doing it locally.
Yet, how do students feel about the decisions that are being made? Reporter Abigail Salas dives in.
The LCPS School Board met on February 2nd to discuss school reentry. I spoke with Centennial students to see how they felt about going back to school.
I'm excited to see everybody, to be honest, and be back at school and stuff.
And then we go back into my senior year. For the first semester, the entirety of it, we were stuck at home. And now we're in the second semester and we're thinking about reentry, and I'm personally all for it.
While many are excited to go back, some students are more worried about protecting themselves and others from the virus.
As much as I'd love to go back, I feel like we need to be careful in going back. And we need to be safe and smart.
The options provided by LCPS only allowed students to go back in a hybrid model. Due to this, many students would rather stick to virtual learning.
So this year has definitely been hard. So any option I have to, complete my final year of high school, I would take it. And I know there are risks, but I trust that they would be safe about it. And I feel like everyone has their own option that would be best for them.
LCPS has been asking for not only the teachers' and parents' opinions, but have tried their best to also hear the students' perspective.
We are one of the only school boards in our state and even across the nation that has a student advisor on the dais with us.
The board will meet this Tuesday to finalize the school reentry plan. For Centennial Student News, this is Abigail Salas reporting.
Thankfully, many of our peers have not been diagnosed with COVID-19 during the pandemic.
However, the repercussions of this as a whole have had huge mental effects.
Reporter Cariana Gamboa tells us about how students are dealing with this.
Quiet schools all over the city and online learning is the new normal, but it has affected some students and their mental health, and our CHS counselor explains further on how she thinks students are feeling.
I really believe not being at school for some of them is impacting. It really is. And not having that connection with another school person.
I talked to some CHS seniors and asked if they felt that their mental health decreased because of not being in school.
I think it's had kind of a negative impact because I haven't really had as much physical contact with people. So just been kind of locked in my house, not really doing much.
Like not being able to see people and like interact with my friends has negatively impacted my mental health, and it's made it more of a struggle.
But some students are still looking for a positive outlook in the situations.
For others, being at home on their own schedule, at their own time, getting things done is okay.
Yeah, I feel like even though it's hard, I try to stay positive about everything and just see the good thing in it. So I feel like it's prepared me. So I feel like I can really only say that it's positively affected me.
With some students struggling and others doing fine, the effects of the pandemic will continue to keep schools empty. For Centennial Student News, this is Cariana Gamboa reporting.
Now let's take it on over to Angelina for the weather.
Hey Hawks, I'm here at Dripping Springs, here to give you your weekend's weather forecast. We start the weekend off partly cloudy and cold here on this lovely Saturday afternoon, but we can expect it to get colder as the day goes on. Just when you thought it couldn't get colder, temperatures will decrease on Sunday, where Las Cruces is looking at a 68% chance of snow and a special forecast for love in the air. A similar day on Monday, keeping those same cold temperatures, however we can expect it to get sunny throughout the week. The high this week is 76 and the low is 18, so make sure you bundle up so you can make those snow angels. That wraps up this weekend's weather forecast. Have a hawktastic weekend.
Well, Grayson, so what are your plans for after high school?
Well, luckily I'm going to Texas A&M University and fortunate to be doing so. Do you have any plans?
Well, I'm definitely going to college. On where is a bit up in the air, but some students are starting to take a different sort of path.
Yeah, that's right. Reporter Mateo Garcia Bryce tells us how one Hawk has plans for the future.
Caden Minnick is a senior at Centennial High School who plans on pursuing aviation right after he graduates. He spoke to me about the importance of experience over traditional education.
So would you say they value experience over age?
You have better chances with more experience than hopping in later on with a degree. They would choose someone with more certifications and more experience over someone with a degree.
Caden is uncharacteristically young for this field, but this introduces opportunities for increased inclusion for teenagers.
How does it feel being a young person in this industry? Is it a lot of older people usually?
I guess it kind of surprises other people whenever someone young comes in wanting to do this, because I don't think most people know how young you can be to get into this kind of stuff.
While many may choose to go to college after high school, flying opens the door for career opportunities while avoiding large amounts of debt.
How much of an advantage do you think it is for high school students to skip college and be recruited straight into the industry as opposed to going to college and then going into the industry?
In my opinion, it's kind of like a college, because the more certifications you get, it's kind of like a smaller degree. So, you get more certifications, more opportunity. But I think it'd be advantageous for high schoolers, because out of high school it'd be cheaper, so you're not putting yourself in so much debt.
Caden will graduate in May and hopes his career will take off soon after. For Student Television Network, this is Mateo Garcia Bryce reporting.
Alrighty, Hawks, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Centennial Student News.
We hope that you have a good week and especially a good Valentine's Day, and we'll catch you next time. I'm Ella Hutchinson.
And I'm Grayson Castillo. Have a good one.